What's going on, guys? It's your boy John, the Liquidator, coming back with breaking news. So it looked like Amber Cox just gave her first ever sit-down interview. She explains why they got rid of Temi and more. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. First thing in the morning, they ain't playing no games. Amber sat down with a representative from the Indiana Fever, just like Stephanie White did, but Amber took a little minute, but we ain't going to hold y'all on that. Make a long story short, she definitely spoke about why they got rid of Temi, why they sent her over to the Valkyries, and she spoke about the future of the team. But it's just great to see her kind of have a voice of her own, explain basically what she's going to be doing throughout the 2025 season, because we know she's brand new as well. And I'm done talking, man. Let's get right down to the action. Roll the footage.
One priority for us is re-signing Kelsey Mitchell. I think that backcourt was about as lethal as we've seen in the WNBA, and I'm talking maybe in history in the second half of the season.
And we welcome you into today's edition of Inside Fever Basketball, and we are thrilled to be joined here today.
So as you guys just heard her, she stated their main focus is to re-sign Kelsey. Now we know they're gonna more than likely core her, give her the max, but just gotta wait to see. Let's get back to the footage.
By General Manager, Chief Operating Officer Amber Cox. Welcome. It was a little over a month ago that you were announced. We had the press conference. So why don't you catch us up on the last couple of weeks and how you've integrated here to the Indiana Fever?
I tell you what, it's been a whirlwind, but a lot of fun. This is an organization that I have long admired and have had a lot of interactions with throughout my career. So it's surreal to walk into work here every single day. Everyone has been so helpful, helping me find where to get a pen, where the lunchroom is, all the important things. But obviously, we've gotten right to work on the basketball side of things. Preparing for 2025 as well. So it's been a fun startup month for sure.
You've got an extensive resume. It speaks for itself. Most recently in Dallas, COO with the Wings, but you've been in Connecticut and Phoenix. You have a lot of experience in professional sports, women's professional sports. How does that impact you here as you get ready for this opportunity?
Well, I think, being in the WNBA.
Now that there was actually a great question for him to ask, because her resume is quite wonderful and it's pretty much speaks for itself. Now that was just a great question as they get prepared for the 2025 season, because he's leading us right into their game plan, at least for Amber Cox. But let's get back to the footage.
NBA since 2005, I've seen a lot. So the growth through the years, we've learned a lot. I think we're obviously at this very pivotal time in the WNBA, and obviously led by the Indiana Fever. But I think all those experiences will lend themselves to hopefully doing the best job possible here. I mean, this is truly a dream come true for me to walk into this role, to work alongside Kelly Krauskopf and Stephanie White on the basketball side, and the tremendous business side of things, the team that is assembled on that side too. So I feel like everything in my journey thus far has really prepared me for this role in this moment.
I want to ask you about that group that you're going to work with here in a moment, but let's just start at this 20,000-foot view, if you will. What's ahead, the inflection point for the league and for the franchise that you just touched upon? I mean, what about that excites you the most here?
Certainly, we're at this incredible inflection point, and it feels like for the rest of the world, the light switch has come on. And everyone now understands what we all know and love about the WNBA, how tremendous these players are on the court, but also what great people they are off the court. And I say it all the time, 1 through 12, we've got incredible stories to tell. And I think this spotlight gives us the opportunity to create even more of a platform for every single one of our players, not only on the court, but off the court too.
It's been a busy offseason already for the franchise, and I know a whole lot more is coming up. Your addition, clearly a major part of that. But let's start here with Stephanie White, head coach. She comes back to Indiana, somebody that has her roots here in this state and in many ways in this franchise. Take me through your expectations for her and how this reuniting you see going on here with the Fever.
Yeah, I mean, what a cool moment for the Fever and for Stephanie White to come back to this organization. Basketball royalty in this state, has done so much as a player and a coach. You know, again, being in this league, I've long admired Steph and her ability to put a team together, to, you know, build a coaching staff, and obviously the X's and O's and everything she can do on the court. Her players love to play for her. So just being able to support her in any way that I can. I truly view this as a team effort. This is not going to be one person that's going to put this together. I think between Steph and her staff, and also Kelly Krauskopf, Lynn Dunn still on board as a senior advisor, we've got a tremendous team with a very diverse skill set that are coming at things at different angles. And I think that's going to put us in the best position to be successful.
Speaking of Kelly, she's somebody, I know you and she go way back, 20 years back. It was something she talked about in that introductory press conference. Mm-hmm. To be able to work with her, the brain power here in the front office, how would you describe your relationship and what you hope to achieve here?
Well, I said it in the press conference, you know, all it took was the phone call from Kelly Krauskopf. You said it. It's 20 years being a mentor and a friend in this business. Decisions that I've made throughout my career, I've leaned on Kelly. I just truly value her expertise when it comes to, you know, again, just like life decisions. But obviously one of the most brilliant basketball minds that our league has ever seen. And I think her experience going to the Pacers for several seasons and then coming back gives us an even different look at the way that we do things. And again, I just go back to this very diverse group of people that we've assembled to really lead the charge forward for these players, and couldn't be more excited than to come to work with Kelly every single day.
When you look at what the Fever have here in the front office, bringing Stephanie White back, more exciting moves, I'm sure, to come. You know, Pacer Sports and Entertainment has always been really invested in the Indiana Fever, but this feels like, to me, like this is another step forward, another level of investment. Is that how you see it?
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of credit goes to the Simon family. Obviously, it's been 25 plus years now for the Indiana Fever. And not all of those years were easy, right? But there was always a belief, and that investment in this team has been there. And now you've got Mel Raines at the helm. Certainly, you know, excited about the Fever, invested in what we're doing. And that trickles down. Ownership, CEO, all the way down through the company. Every single person that I have talked to is, how can I help? Whatever I can do to lend to the success of the Fever, continue the growth, however I can, to a person. Everybody wants to be a part of it. So it's really cool to step in this environment and have this entire organization pulling in the same direction.
I know that filling out the coaching staff is a goal here over the coming weeks and coming months, but you started on that goal. The Fever have started on that goal with Austin Kelly coming in. Of course, Karima Christmas Kelly is somebody that is well known here, and he'll be joining the staff. I mean, it's a cool story on the side, but obviously somebody with a great basketball mind that Stephanie really has respected too in her time in Connecticut.
Yeah, Austin is a tremendous mind. I have not worked with him. I'm looking forward to getting to know him as well, but I know he brings so much experience.
Now, guys, Austin is the assistant head coach coming over from Connecticut with Kelly. So that who's Kelly had as her assistant back in Connecticut with the Sun. Now, his wife works for the Indiana Fever already. So it'll be a husband and wife, you know, coaching thing with the Fever. But just to get y'all some little clarity on who exactly Austin Kelly is, he's the assistant coach coming over with Stephanie from Connecticut. Let's get back to the footage.
I've talked to other players who have played for Austin, and just to a person, they all just rave about him. Karima, as a player, was very difficult when you were on the other side. And I think she brings that same mentality every single day. Just hardworking, can really relate to the players. I know she's done a tremendous job in her time here. I got to know her a little bit when our paths crossed in Dallas. So couldn't be more thrilled than to work with Karima and Austin every day as well.
We discussed the inflection point, kind of where the league is at, and a great example is the expansion we're seeing and the expansion draft taking place on Friday, which I'm sure for somebody in your position, it's a very unique thing, right? Because it's different than anything else probably that you do from an offseason perspective. But does it provide assistance and help at all, knowing you're going to be doing this a couple of more times and kind of going through that process for the first time this year?
It was an interesting experience. And you think about this team, and obviously I was not here, but you could see, and I've heard about how close this unit was. And so it's a difficult decision, but we all have to sacrifice for expansion in order to get Golden State up and running and 2 more teams next year. So it's what we have to do. It's not easy. You never like to see a player leave. Temi was obviously an incredible piece to the success last year. But again, it's the price we pay for growth. We're really excited for Golden State to come online. And certainly it was a decision we made, but a decision that wasn't in a vacuum, part of an overall strategy that hopefully everyone will see unfold throughout the offseason.
Take me through your thoughts on the roster as things currently stand. You've got a few pillars, I think, at least to build around. It'll be an important free agency stretch, perhaps an important trade stretch here coming up. But where do you view this roster right now?
I mean, that getting into the playoffs was such a great step. I think experiencing that for our young team is so important because you understand how the intensity level goes up another several notches, right? So that is a really important step. So obviously we want to take the next step. So I think as we're looking to free agency, we'll think about veterans coming in with that playoff experience. But what a foundation in Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, back-to-back rookies of the year, players playing together that can really do something special for the long term. And obviously, as we get into free agency, the number one priority for us is re-signing Kelsey Mitchell. I think that backcourt was about as lethal as we've seen in the WNBA, and I'm talking maybe in history in the second half of the season last year. So we want to reunite Caitlin and Kelsey. And Kelsey, when I think about her and her time in Indiana, and, a lot of trials and tribulations throughout her career. So for me and for us, I'm most excited for her to be in this moment and experience so much success. Yes, we'll continue to look at the roster, see what's available to us as we get into free agency, and to continue to try to, build upon last year's success.
Caitlin, Indiana Fever GM Amber Cox making it known what her game plan is. Speaking about Temi, speaking about Kelsey Mitchell contract, getting the backcourt back to what it was, just like she stated, it's one of the best ones that possibly took place in the second half of the season in history. Get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about that. Keep them bills on because I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, baby. Peace out. Shake!